Personal Year 3. The 3-year is a journey to personal happiness on a sea of appearances. Simply seek happiness and you are not likely to find it. Seek to create and love without regard to your happiness and you are likely to be happy much of the time. By Dr. M. Scott Peck. After a year in which other people's needs eclipsed your own, it is your turn now. The 3-year is a simpler and more casual 12-month cycle in which you must constantly ask yourself, what do I want? Your own long-term happiness and fulfillment are the central issues, and the 3-year cycle gives you the opportunity to discover and then create what you believe will make you happy. What you want is attainable regardless of what appears to be standing in your way. However, before the direction of your happiness can be uncovered, you first have to detect and heal the sources of your unhappiness, which you will find have as much to do with what is taking place in the world as it does with your own personal situations, relationships, and memories. You will have to feel what you are feeling and express those emotions in a way that is natural for you. Only then can you know what you want. Happiness is a feeling, an emotion, which can only come from inside, and there will be at least one opportunity this year to feel joy as you have never felt it before. As the 3-year progresses and you find yourself in some kind of spotlight, you will certainly need to express your alternating fears of failure and success. This release will bring you to a more comfortable state of knowing who, what, and where you are now. From this realistic perspective, a new spectrum of options will open up for you. In the year 3, the past becomes the present you have created, and the present becomes the creative springboard from which to build your future. You may have to take a few courageous leaps in the dark. Fear will be experienced, and this will help you to develop courage and to know that you are far more capable than you ever allowed yourself to believe. With this level of self-acceptance, your leaps will turn into bounds, and this year could turn out to be your most fulfilling ever. Courage is not the absence of fear. If you are not afraid, then courage has nothing to do with it. Courage is the acceptance of fear and the determination to deal with or get through whatever is causing it. In addition to courage, 3 represents lightness, happiness, innocence, peace, truth, friendship, creativity, communication, youth, beauty, optimism, laughter, and love. Of course, everything has its opposite extreme, and the 3 energy is no exception. This cycle of light certainly has its dark side, which can include depression, sorrow, guilt, gossip, oppression, destruction, lies, enemies, ugliness, pessimism, cynicism, coldness, rejection, scandal, and even cruelty. If you experience any of these things, try to understand that they have their purpose too. These adverse elements often enter our lives in the 3-year to show us just how easily we equate happiness with superficial and shallow things. This year's experiences will bring you into deeper waters and the potential for deeper and more meaningful forms of happiness. The 3-year emphasizes independence within loving relationships. This is not a contradiction, but an opportunity to love deeply without constantly worrying about what others think. The more you approve of yourself and do what you want to do, the more others will accept you as you are because they will be witnessing the astonishing beauty that comes with authentic confidence. When this inner beauty is expressed outwardly, it is so hard to resist. 3 is the energy of attraction and charisma. Displays of false confidence, keeping up appearances, cannot work in the 3-year. Pretending you are happy or fearless is an impossible role to maintain and eventually becomes painfully apparent by a conspicuous lack of personal satisfaction. The 3-year makes it clear that you do not require the approval of others. Observe the three-sided or triangular nature of your relationships. Friction will arise if you try to keep or connect certain individuals who do not belong in the same set of circumstances or social framework. By trying to please one, you may be upsetting another. All you can do is please yourself first and allow others to decide for themselves who their friends are. Friends play an important role in the 3-year, so try to create more free time for social interaction. What is your idea of enjoyment? Is there any imagination or creativity involved in your social life, or is it always the same old routine? Are you living by your own design or just following the crowd? Are you seeking friendship or approval? This year, you are likely to become aware of how you have outgrown certain friendships and associations, and this may come as a shock to you. Your will, which is made up of all your feelings, wants to be free. It wants to be around others who also value freedom and uniqueness. Your experiences will show you that free will is an accurate measure of human evolution, which in the 3-year can expand dramatically. Maintain your precious individuality. You have many good qualities which need to be expanded. If you discover a talent you didn't know you had, pursue this new interest passionately. Focus on self-improvement at all levels. You may want to change your appearance to better suit your new ideals, and this will require the elimination of bad habits. Your responsibilities will be easier to fulfill if you put your own happiness first. Keep your goals firmly in mind as you make new discoveries about what you desire. Be prepared to make some drastic changes. Focus. If your attention becomes too scattered, you will have all the opportunities that the 3-year offers, but your mind will be too muddled to utilize them effectively. We are living in a world that is rife with misery and suffering, and you may wonder if seeking personal happiness is appropriate or realistic. Guilt will tell you that it is wrong or impractical. But the 3-year reminds you that life was never meant to be an unhappy experience, and by allowing guilt to suck you in, you will be giving it more power to spread itself further into the world. Take your happiness, your right to exist as you want to exist, seriously. Does this mean that you should ignore what is going on around you or you refuse to help where needed? The 3-year may sound like a selfish one, but it is not. You will be unable to attract success through blatant self-interest. On the contrary, life is urging you to reach out to others in a friendly, optimistic, and well-meaning manner. A kind and generous nature will attract the success you are seeking. Think in terms of what you can contribute to a situation, rather than what you can get out of it. Then you will see your generosity and kindness being returned to you in different ways. You will learn the difference between love and guilt this year. Where guilt exists, love cannot. 3 is the number of innocence. This year's events will show you that guilt really is the biggest obstacle in your quest for fulfillment. The only way to remove it is to stop prejudging what is right and wrong and develop total acceptance for your own natural capacity for decency and compassion. 3 is the number of communication and expression, and you will find that spoken or written words, images, sound, humor, and unusual ideas all play pivotal roles in your life now. It is essential that you take your ideas seriously and are able to take a concept beyond the idea stage and actually create it in the material world. But a word of warning must be given here. These elements can also create many problems for you if they are used without regard for the reality in which you are using them. It is not uncommon in the year 3 for words to be blurted out thoughtlessly, or images to be pushed in other people's faces in a way that offends or hurts. This should not be taken lightly, because if this does happen to you, you could find yourself in a difficult position that will not be easy to put right. Words and images are creative tools. The damage incurred by using them in a destructive way is often beyond measure. It is so important that you check the facts for yourself. It is often in the 3 year that we discover how easily we succumb to hearsay, the loudest voice or the voice of authority. The truth is likely to be buried beneath layers of deception or misconception, so try to keep an open mind. 3 is the number of appearances. What appears to be the case must be seen for what it is deep down, and not just what it appears to be on the surface. Look more deeply into whatever you are dealing with, and remember that there is a big difference between struggle and effort. 3 is the number of optimism, which, if correctly understood, is an important tool for clarifying and attaining your goals. You attract to you what you expect, whether you do so consciously or subconsciously. Guilt tells us that optimism produces false hope, and indeed it does if we do not act to take advantage of the potential it reveals to us. The purpose of optimism is not to deceive us into denying our problems, but to show us that greater possibilities do exist. Optimism is wanting to make the best of whatever your circumstances happen to be. Ideas, plans, or projects you started 2 years ago are now likely to show signs of movement and progress. This will increase your optimism considerably and provide a new basis for action. Aim high. Give your very best. One of 3's unique qualities is to spread itself to others for better or worse. The beauty that comes from genuine confidence transmits inspiration to others. Pessimism, resentment, or criticism transmit ugliness and gloom instead. The spreading quality of 3 can have a lasting effect on you and those around you. Whatever you feel, say, do, or create will rub off on others, affect their mood, and influence the atmosphere. You will meet your fair share of cynics and those who love to criticize. For a while, you may even be one of them. Other people will have the effect of mirrors reflecting your innermost feelings back to you. This year, you will discover many feelings and beliefs that you have kept well hidden, even from yourself. You will learn that your unhappiness is the result of your refusal to truly feel your feelings, and most importantly, express them. One of those feelings is bound to be anger. In a year that is supposed to be about you getting what you want, dealing with people and situations that appear to be stopping you from getting it can trigger the kind of anger that you did not know you were capable of feeling. However, others are not holding you back. You yourself are allowing old beliefs and expectations to curb your progress. It is really up to you to create what you want. You will have your problems this year, but you are perfectly able to deal with them as they arise. Your personal happiness is the theme, and it is important to understand that happiness is an emotion that needs to be expressed. As and when you feel it, 3 is the number of spontaneity. Although the 3 year often starts out by emphasizing what is making you unhappy, its purpose is to help you see yourself in a positive new light. There are likely to be some exquisite surprises in store for you this year if you allow your will, your deepest feelings to guide you to them. The 3 energy is offering you the gift of optimism, which is a positive beginning. It's going to be an interesting and creative year. That's all I have for you, personal year 3. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, liking, and subscribing. It helps our channel grow. Good luck to you. Bye.